back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Ukradowski of WeAreChange.org here in Acapulco, Mexico. Joined, of course, by many people. We're live here on the ground as this event is happening. One of the largest gatherings of anarchists in the world. Behind me is Danny Sessions. I haven't even planned out this shot, but he has the best internet out here. He's a part of the crypto show. He does a lot of really incredible work with not only entrepreneurship, but also charity work. It looks like he has a little red nose here with the mic the way it's set up here. But we're going to be live here for the next hour, so share this broadcast with your friends and family members. I'm going to be walking around a little bit trying to talk to as many individuals as we can. And of course, today is Saturday, February 16th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where now every single Saturday we will be doing a live stream for over an hour. Sadly, Jason Burmis cannot join us today. He is on pretty much just vacation, and it's pretty much just me and all the other people here at Anarcapulco. That's the main kind of hallway here. The main event is happening to the right, and we're going to be walking around in just a little bit, getting some words and conversations started and everything else that's happening here. I mean, this, people have to understand, this is one of the biggest kind of anarchist events out there based on the philosophy of anarchy that a lot of major names have been putting their support behind. People like Ron Paul, who have been here, had the chance of have dinner with them last night. David Icke's here, Immortal Techniques here. A lot of former statesmen who found out, oh yeah, government's actually the bigger problem here. And mostly people talking about individuality, freedom, sovereignty, liberty, self-determination, and being there for each other as a human being. We're actually going to be joined by the one and only, the man of the hour, walking to us with a wine glass. Not a surprise at all with that. The one and only Jeff Berg. We got a super chat too. Again, all the super chats will be read and supported. Jeff, take a seat, sit down, relax. You got your dog Lucy here as well. $5 super chat by Mobile Crusader says, take some of my tax return money, you filthy ANCAPs. That's one way of saying it. We're joined here by Lucy, who's probably going to be jumping on Jeff's. Yeah, come on. Yeah, there you go. And then, of course, we're joined here by Jeff Berwick, who, of course, is the dollar vigilante and has been doing Anarcapulco for the last 5 years now. It's been 5 years already. We're getting old. Holy cow. And we've been, I remember the first time you were doing Anarcapulco, about 120 people. We were doing it at the Coca Cabana, a rundown, beat-up hotel that screamed the Coca Cabana theme song at you in a non-working elevator that took all day to get into. But overall, after that event, a lot of people were inspired. There was a lot of freedom. There was a lot of sovereignty. There was a lot of great individuals. And even though it was very small in the beginning, I knew it was something good. And I always said, wow, this is one of the best conferences because it was in a great park, great location, great people, and really fostered and grew and has been growing tremendously. And now we're over at 2,000 plus people. What's the latest here in Anarcapulco?
Yeah, I don't even know the latest. I've been so crazy, 1,200 last year, so I'd double again. We've actually doubled every single year so far, so that's pretty cool.
And there's always a bunch of crap in the press, but there's a lot of things beyond this. And I think one of the bigger principles that this kind of movement, that this kind of conference promotes is the idea of kind of self-determination and also doing the right thing. Without having a centralized command or a government telling you what to do. And then you take the responsibility for yourself to be the best person and also help all the other people around you. That to me is the main philosophy of anarchy, and you really have to live by it. And you guys are trying to do that with also the support and local work you guys are doing with the orphanage as well. So tell us a little bit about that. Danny's going to help us with that as well. Where's Danny? Danny disappear. But Danny, try to grab a seat next to Jeff, and let's talk about this orphanage stuff that we were just at. There's a whole bunch, there's like 50 kids running around here, hugging, running into Jeff and his wife, petting the dog. So tell us about some of the outreach work that you guys have been doing. Danny has been a part of it as well.
Alrighty, well you're not going to believe this, but a crazy bunch of bikers 3 years ago approached us and told us, hey, maybe we ought to do something really cool with the local orphanage. So they hooked us up, took us over there. I was very hungover, and I got to drive a Harley over to the orphanage, and we made, we made 75 meals for all the children, and then we brought just bags and bags of food to help take care of them for the next couple of weeks or however long it would last. And then we came back again the next year, and we did it again. And then now they're doing it again this year. And these guys are from Divi Project. They stepped up. They brought computers. They put their time an effort into this. They went in there and they were teaching the kids how to code. It's just a great thing, and we're looking forward to hoping to try to maybe drum up some donations here before the conference is over and make another run, go over there, get them some of the stuff that they need. I know they don't need any of this beer, but I'm going to drink it anyway.
Well, it's Mexico, so obviously it's a vacation resort. Everyone's relaxing here, but we're gonna pitch all the stuff. Danny, I want you to give us the kind of addresses and locations where people can hang out. And don't you guys know that learning to code is racist and bigoted, and you can't say that to people anymore? What's wrong with you guys? Okay, well, hold on. Where can people find out more about you guys and what you guys do, and the comment about the work that you guys are doing?
Yes, we posted a little bit about the orphanage thing on our Twitter at Divi Project. And you can obviously find us on our website at diviproject.org.
And anything else you guys want to say about the project that you're doing, and anything else on this issue?
I don't want to take away too much from what was done with the kids, but we are a cryptocurrency aimed at ease of use and mass adoption. I know a lot of people say that, but we really do have a vision for it, and you can find more out about it on our website.
And it's not just about Divi being easy, it's about making all cryptocurrencies easy through our ecosystem.
Work, and it's really awesome to see the little kids and hang out with them and see the effects that are happening with people being helped out. What do you want to say about the kind of projects and work that you've been doing down here, especially just the overall movement and just everything that's been going on?
Well, truthfully, I didn't know any of that was even going to happen. About a year ago, we said we have to, I heard about this orphanage, and I said we have to get involved in it. I saw Danny with like so many people, even in Moral Technique last night. It's like, I think I'm going to go down. Like a lot of people are really, when we find out about these places, do we just, do our part? And I really said I wanted to start an Anarcapulco Foundation, but I wanted to keep it a bit quiet. I don't brag about those sort of things at all. It's my honor, of course, to even be doing anything like that. And so I had no idea. So that was pretty amazing to have it was like 80 kids just run up and hug me there at the hotel lobby. I didn't even know what we had actually done because I've got a great staff this year doing a lot of great things. But very, very heartwarming day today.
Definitely more professional this year than any other years, but we are missing the hippies. There's no bonfires, there's no drum.
Shout out to Avi Esther, if you're watching this, we miss you. We gotta fix that next year. There's not enough hippies this year.
Yeah, and there's so many activities, so many different things going on. I'm looking at the chat room right now, and people are like, "You support anarchy? We Are Change supports anarchy." Oh, like that's literally the comments that are happening there. We're open to all possibilities and ideas, but I think Jeff and Danny, you guys could explain the principles of anarchy, and I think, again, as we've been talking here, it's about self-reliance, self-responsibility, not going to a centralized command, a bureaucratic force, someone over you, and being empowered in yourself, having a backbone in yourself, and believing that you can determine your own destiny while not hurting anyone else. I think that's the major philosophy. What's your guys' take on anarchy and the kind of shock reaction? Because I titled this video, one of the largest anarchist meetings right now happening live. And people are like, where's Antifa? Where's Black Bloc? Well, it's a philosophy that these guys will explain themselves.
I'll keep it real simple. I know you want to say something. The word just is a Greek word. It means and without archy rulers. It means that people shouldn't be forced to be slaves. If you have a ruler, then what are you? You're a slave. And so we're against slavery. And and we've seen from this conference, we've got black, white, yellow, brown, rich, poor. You could be anything, but as long as you just don't believe that people should be enslaved, you're an anarchist.
I think the original name was Fluffy Bunnyism, but it wasn't edgy enough, so we had to go ahead and change it to Anarchy. I mean, it's just a label. All it means is, peace, love, and anarchy, right? So,
it's a basic philosophy. So if you guys have any specific questions, people are saying, all right, now Lily left a question saying, yeah, Somalia's working great with anarchy, isn't it? Me and Jeff, I don't know if you guys have seen the video, me and Jeff actually went to went to Somalia to investigate the anarchy there, and there really wasn't. There was a lot of governments in Somalia sending in arms. There's a lot of them vying for control. We even met a UN guy on the plane going down there trying to figure out a way how to tax the local Somalis. And one of the biggest things, before I bring Jeff into this Somali topic, is the very fact that a lot of the conflicts are because of different governments, different factions, especially Al-Shabaab, trying to take control of territory and having control of territory and taxing the local population. Governments do this, the radicalized group Al-Shabaab does this, and this is why all the fighting is. And with all the arms and all the governments there, they're being spread around everywhere, making this conflict that much worse, especially the United States government, which literally does military raids down there. And the one that we investigated interviewed one person where over a dozen people died that were innocent, a part of this man's family that we have on video that we put out on this YouTube channel. So Somalia is not anarchistic at all, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we went, of course, and my title of my video was, they told me if I'm an anarchist I should go to Somalia, so I'm here. And no, there was no anarchy there. There was about 7 factions of governments all fighting over the area. And some people will say, by the way, there's an argument to that, there will never be full anarchy because there will always be these things that want to take over certain areas. That's actually not true. If we wake up enough as humanity, and people just get their heads around the fact that none of us should be slaves, and stop paying those taxes and stop listening to those idiots on the television programming and just start living your life. And if enough people understand that, it all just goes away. And we have a world of peace and prosperity like we've never known it. So that's really the key, and that's what Anarcapulco is all about, is spreading this message.
Peace, love, and anarchy.
Yeah, I was just curious about the guy who wanted to do the taxes on the Somalis. Did they have too much money or what?
I know, right? It was just
He was
crazy.
talking to us.
No.
It's like, how can we get taxes on these people? And we're like, what are you talking about? Oh my God.
We're doing the complete opposite of that.
Who are you?
Yeah. We're like,
The most vulnerable people on the planet, that's who they want to tax the hardest. It's ridiculous.
yeah, and of course that stifles innovation. We got another person walking up here. We got Sasha Daygame coming up here. He's an interesting character. He's been finally hip, concentrating on his YouTube videos. He's eating again, which is good.
I just want to meet the dog. Nobody's interested in you, Mutts.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh, he's smelling Jeff's balls. Do they smell like tequila? Or has Jeff been a good boy? Tell us the truth. Has he got tequila balls? Anyway, what's going on? What did I miss?
We're just doing a live show talking about how governments are trying to tax and regulate the poorest people on the planet to control them and subjugate them to generate revenue for their global mafia. Just a simple topic. So what's your comment on that, on taxation? We're just talking anarchy and doing a live stream here.
You guys talking about anarchy? You guys never talk about that stuff. Well, I just don't believe in any authority other than my own, God's law, natural law. I never did, and I just completely like the reason I don't go and kill people or rob is because it's not in my nature to do so. I don't give a shit what the government says. I've never paid taxes. I've never paid income taxes.
Thank you for your service.
Ever. I know, seriously. Like I used to not talk about it, but it's like it's so immoral to support government at this point. Like when I was blessed when I was age 16, I actually worked for the government, just some summer job or something. And at the end of the summer, I got a bill for like it was a statement that said, "Oh, we actually overtaxed you because it was only a short job, so we actually owe you $1,000." So if I filled out the form, the government would have sent me $1,000, and there was this little voice in my head. Thank God, as my spirit guides or who I don't know. And it was just like, if you fill out this form, they're always going to be asking you for money. So just let them keep the $1,000. So I never filled out the form. They never asked me again. I left my country when I was 2000, and I've just never I've just been moving around doing my thing, and now there's crypto. So yeah, but really, when you become aware of like where that money's going, the corruption, the wars, and the fact that it's all backed up by violence, because money, or we're gonna shoot you or put you in jail or fuck with you, it's a shit show. And when the day of a country forms, when all the money goes to helping people, like really curing diseases, helping people, helping the poor, like really, when a country forms, when all the money goes to the benefit of the people, I'm going to go to that country, I'm going to register as a citizen, and I'm happy to pay tax. But I'm still waiting for the country to come along. I haven't seen one yet.
As long as things are voluntary and you have a choice and you have a decision being like, hey, I don't want to.
The point is, if it's voluntary, it's not tax. And so, yeah, that's what we're trying to do in Liberland is you can donate and, crowdfund or whatever, but you don't force people to do what you want. That's just basic. I don't know why we have to explain this to people, but apparently people got lost along the way here. Something happened, so we're trying to fix it now.
Oh, we're live on the screen too in the back. Holy cow, I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a live television that Danny has put on his crypto show bus here. Danny's been doing a lot of great work here and all over Mexico as well. Just want to shout him out again. I was talking to Immortal Technique about you as well, because Immortal Technique was doing some charity work down here in Oaxaca. He also had some reservations about coming down here, and he was like, I had to call my people, I had to find out, make sure it's okay. They were like, yeah, you're totally fine, it's okay. He came down, performed in one of the biggest nightclubs here. Yeah, Danny, you want to tell us about the dangers about traveling to Mexico?
So I had this really terrible, awful incident one time. The bandits had taken over the toll booth, and I was completely scared shitless. They were all in masks, and I came up, and I was just really scared. And they gave me a 66% discount on the toll, and they smiled at me. I think it was behind masks, but I'm pretty sure they were smiling. So I got, normally you pay 125 pesos. When the bandits take over, it's only 50 pesos. So please, bandits, take over the next toll booth.
Yeah, and we've seen actions like this in Mexico by autonomous communities, communities coming together who don't like the government. Mexico is very, very anti-government. A lot of people here do not pay a lot of taxes. I think that's why there's such a allure here to have so many people kind of resonate with this kind of larger basic ideas and principles. And local community groups sometimes say enough is enough. We're taking over this toll road and we're going to build funds for an actual good project here. We've seen very similar things in Paris, France, where literally the Yellow Vest protesters take over a toll booth and they're like, no money for the government today. Come on in, come on by. And we're also seeing them smash up the majority. The majority of speed cameras right now are destroyed in all of France because of the Yellow Vest movement saying enough is enough and bashing it up. And it's also similar to the story that me and you did when we traveled to Chiran. Chiran is an autonomous community that's an anarchistic society living without government. You're bringing the spokesperson, the town elder, and some of the people, a part of their larger community of 30,000 people down here to speak. And holy cow, I mean, there's a lot to learn from Mexico, the world, but also just being able to talk and communicate with each other. You guys have any comments on autonomous communities already existing in our society, facing the backlash of authoritarian statist rule?
It's happening all over the place. It's not on the media, and that's why I thank God for you. Like the Yellow Vest movement, I wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't for you. This is happening all over the place. People are waking up. Now, they might have some stupid ideas every now and then, like we need a higher minimum wage or whatever. They don't get the economic part. But in general, people are just fed up. You look at even Trump. He was kind of like a reaction to people were like, let's just vote for this guy. He's an idiot. This is so stupid. And Brexit, and they won't let Brexit go through. And the Catalonia movement in Spain, and then we went to Chiran, and Tata Meche is here, and incredibly loved and respected already here in this place, and we're all working together, and they've been, a lot of people call us heroes. Those people were heroes. Those women who fought off the Spaniards, and then they fought off the Mexican government, they fought off the Aztecs. We're not heroes at all. We are not even close. Isn't that sad that we just mention a few truth facts and some people think we're heroes? There's some real heroes out there, and a lot of them are here. Tata Meche is a hero. And that's why they make Mexico look dangerous on the television programming. There's a reason. The reason is, a lot of people don't know this. Mexican people are Native Americans. They're the southern part of Native Americans. And they don't believe in this government system at all. And they will chop off politicians' heads. And you'll see that on the news up in the U.S. And people go, oh, it's very scary. Well, they just don't want anyone ruling people here. And neither do I. So that's why I'm here.
You look like you're mesmerizing the dog, but go ahead. You have something to say, Sasha.
I want to hear what the dog has to say. Hey, buddy, you gonna lick the mic too? You want to give me another kiss? Yes, you want to give me more kisses. Sorry, I'm just in love with the dog here. I just want to point out too, so I did a talk here in Anarcapulco. Fucking great crowd. It's like every year the crowd just gets more loving, more conscious, more. They're just waking up more. You can really feel it every year. Just people are just more beautiful people. The revolution is really about people coming together in love and cooperating with each other. The illusion is that this whole. I mean, Jeff, you talk a lot about the financial system and this belief in dollars. Energy is just money, right? Money is just energy, right? So it's like when you do some work, you get this paper, and then you give it to someone else, and they do some work. But we don't actually need the money. We don't actually need the money at all. So I could say to you, Jeff, oh, Jeff, you need a big house. I need somewhere to live. Hey, let me live in your house. I'm really good at massages. I can give you massages. I can cook. I mean, we can all. Well, my opinion is if we Yes, I mean, look,
But we
money
need
is
good
just.
we need a good money.
It's just a way, like money's just a way to keep track of work, right? But we don't need the money. We could just cooperate together in groups.
That's going to take at least a few more decades for consciousness to rise to that level.
But we could have that with crypto, right? We could all work together and keep track of who's done who, with crypto. But even without the crypto, even if like you don't have a computer, you live somewhere, it doesn't matter. If you have a skill, and this is what it comes down to, if you have one thing you were genuinely good at, that you're passionate, it doesn't matter. You could be you're the best dishwasher. You wash dishes like a motherfucker. Like people eat off your dishes. Are like, yo, these dishes are spotless every time. If a guy comes to you off the street, right, Jeff, and he goes, listen, I got nowhere to live, but I wash dishes like a motherfucker. You will never have to wash dishes. Just let me sleep in your house. You would say yes. You'd be like, you know what? If you're gonna wash all my dishes and keep my house clean, you can go. I have an extra room you can stay in. And so that guy is not gonna starve to death. You give him some food and you give him a place to stay. Yeah, and we all have something we can get good at, And with crypto, we can also get paid for it without the government taxation and the theft. So that's what I'm saying. Get something that you're good at. Get one thing that you're good at, like really good at, and come together and have a little faith in the universe, that the universe will provide a way for you to survive and live without you having to go to fucking working in Walmart or get some job where the government's taking a third or 50% of your money. Fuck that.
We should mention that last year you were skin and bones because you hadn't eaten in like months, and
A fast. You're doing a fast.
which is good. Fasting is good, but you had like 7. Was it margaritas or was it
Pina coladas.
because pina coladas, because that's not solid food. But the funniest part was when you wanted the cake so bad, but you didn't want to eat food, so you just put it in your mouth and then spit it out afterwards. So I just want to point out you're a little crazy. Like you go to extremes sometimes, and I think you're totally right. We can go to a world without money eventually, but that's going to take a while. And barter actually sucks. It just kind of sucks. Like if I make wine and you do haircuts, and I don't need a haircut and you don't need wine, we're both screwed. That's why money's actually okay. It's good. But the point is, it has to be a solid, a sound money. When central banks get involved and they print up tons of money, that's what destroys the whole world. And you're right. It's called currency for a reason. It is an exchange of energy, and they know that. And when you control the money, you control the world. And we've got money now that no one can control, and that's why crypto is really important.
Yeah, the whole analogy of currency going along with the current of the water, banks, the bank of water. Again, there's a lot of different words being used here. We got Ernie Hancock here as well. Ernie, how are you, brother? If Ernie gets in here, we literally, he's going to be taking over this entire broadcast. I love Ernie. Ernie, we're going to time you. We're going to have to time Ernie Hancock for what should we? A minute and a half, or 2 minutes? 2 minutes. You just go. We don't have Ernie Hancock. Does a lot of work with Freedom Phoenix, and he does a lot of great work. He's been in the field for a while. He's been warning people about, again, censorship, about demonetization for longer than I even was around, and really great guy. Ernie, I'm just going to give you the mic. You go ahead.
Thanks.
Freedom Phoenix.
Hello.
We should get a shot of these Bitcoin.com girls real quick. I don't know if they.
There you go. There you go.
Well, yeah, Ernie, what's going on? Tell us what's going on.
Okay, well, I tell you, we were just talking with Colin Pape here at Pre-Search, and this is what the whole deal is. Give me 120 seconds. Give it 2 minutes? Time it. If I can get it done in 2 minutes. I knew that there was going to be deplatforming, delisting, and you're not allowed to say anything against a man because the man has it and you're not allowed. If you thought that you're going to use the DARPA, the man's internet, and you're going to say what you wanted against a man, that was not going to happen, and we were preparing for it. For the last couple of years, we've been setting up IPFS servers to where we can take our entire content and that of other people like Luke Rudowski. James Corbett is way down the road on it. Richard Grove from Tragedy and Hope. Dan Dix. Josh Segerson. I mean, all the guys. We have been setting up IPFS servers for guys like Luke to put all their data up, and they sync up with each other. All our servers have all of our content, so nobody can take it down. Now, the next thing is we turned that on last Wednesday. PiratesWithoutBorders.com, that was for FreedomsPhoenix.com. For PiratesWithoutBorders.com, what is this, Demolition Chicken Derby or something? Oh. Damn kids. I get to add time to my 120 seconds. Luke cheated.
We're all listening. We're listening the whole time.
Okay, so now we have to where it's search. So calling it pre-search, already got some of those guys in Poland working on it and working with Derek Slopey from Agorist Hosting. And this is it. You can have all these hashes. They can never take down these files, but how do you search it? So we need to make sure that, like Yahoo used to be, they just put up cool stuff back in the mid-90s. Oh, you got cool stuff? Send us a form with your cool stuff, and we'll list your cool stuff. So that's what we're doing, is the format of listing everything is also an IPFS search on pre-search, and whoever else wants to do it. Now, all the content is forever. You can always find it, and screw the man. The crown is dead. Done. Next. Because I knew it was freaking coming. What the hell you been thinking?
Right at 2 minutes. Perfect. Ernie Hancock, Freedom Phoenix, definitely working on plans to not get screwed over by the system demand for a very long time. We've been warning people since 2008. Hey guys, it's coming. It's coming. We should have been more prevalent. We should have been more clairvoyant. We should have been more proactive. But having people like Ernie Hancock in the background with us has been very helpful and very important. And yeah, total anarchy breaking out here. There's like Bitcoin women walking down over there. There's little kids playing chicken skateboard right in front of us as well. A big free community. And again, very, very good vibes here. Very peaceful, very calm. A lot of people have many misconceptions, as I'm seeing through the comment sections here, about anarchy and about Mexico. But that's okay. People are able to have their opinions. We got a new member, Elai Kalis. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have special behind-the-scenes videos ready for you. We also have an hour-long interview that we did with David Icke, over an hour long, that we're going to be putting up there just for sponsors alone. We're going to have more videos coming out also with Ron Paul. We're going to be doing more work. We have a lot of other individuals on this YouTube channel. So if you guys become a member, we'll give you the sneak peek behind the look at that. Because again, we're user-funded media, just like Ernie Hancock, just like Dan Dix, just like Josh Sigerson, just like all of us here. We don't get paid by the top dollars. Now with crypto, it has created a very interesting situation where we're having this new form of technology that is enabling people, but also has the same potential of hurting people. Chase Manhattan Bank also had a major decision with crypto this week. Crypto, has been up and down. You're kind of the crypto guy, the dollar vigilante, who's been talking about it on Fox News when it was what, $15 or $5, with the Fox News anchor being like, this is not going to go anywhere. This crypto stuff is not going anywhere. It's like, this is all crazy nerd internet money, which I kind of even believed in myself too. But how do you see this crypto market right now from your own personal experiences, Jeff?
Well, first of all, I should say I haven't been allowed back on for years.
On Fox News, which, by the way, also one of the speakers here who was connected with Fox News was told not to come here by friggin' Fox News. Fox News is literally telling people, don't show up here. Insane.
Yeah, that's Judge Napolitano, and he is a Rothbardian anarchist. A lot of people are anarchists, they just don't tell you. But everyone's starting to tell everyone now. And apparently Fox didn't want him to come down here. They didn't want this to be better than it already is. And that's totally normal, and that's the way it goes. But with the cryptos, it's been a tough year, but you can see there's no one's too depressed or anything, because we know where this is all going. It's going to get rid of central banks, and it will get rid of governments in the next few years. So if you're not ready for that, get ready. Do some reading about how to live in the free market. It'll go a lot easier for you that way.
Or it could be a honeypot as well.
It could be, yeah.
And there could be another alternative currency that actually is the right way. You look pretty epic with the Chihuahua right there.
She's my girl, 24 hours a day. She's always with me.
Yeah, Lucy's an awesome dog. You got like 7 dogs out there. We got a whole bunch of people joining us. No, people are like, we'll be quieter. No, be as loud as you want. We have a microphone. It's fine. You're good. Yeah, keep playing. See, again, people just...
We should call the cops. Noise regulations or something we need.
What is it? Permit Patty? And what was the other one? There was Permit Patty and something with a D. Anyone know? The other person who keeps calling cops on people? Most ridiculous stuff happening in the United States. Total mind control of just giving up your sovereignty and freedom towards some kind of authoritative state. I mean, this is seriously like the worst kind of hypnosis and mind control that is happening to the human free spirit that is just being eviscerated by special interest groups who want to profit off of you and making you feel small about yourself and not having a backbone about yourself and not having the sovereignty and liberty to decide your future life as you want to live it peacefully and rightfully yourself. Whew, sorry, I'm going off on a little rant here, but it makes me angry when I see people like Permit Patty, the divide and conquer agenda being so successful in the United States, with people fighting against each other based on race, based on sex, based on religion, based on if they believe that they're frickin' LGBTQ, FGY, DY. I don't care what you are. I will respect you to do whatever you want, but you should also respect, as David Icke said, you should also respect people's opinion to disagree with you. And I think that's all about freedom and sovereignty and being able to control your emotions, which sadly, a lot of people don't have that power and authority to do. This is why we're here in Mexico. This is why there's such a good vibe here. This is why, literally I just put the camera on here and we have so many great people joining us and walking around us and talking to us and living life voluntarily, freedom, with kids having fun there and enjoying themselves without any security guard walking up to them. I thought one of the most interesting things that I heard here was during TDV, one of your conferences, and there was a speaker up there who was talking about living outside of the United States. And he was talking about raising kids in Latin America. And when he was raising kids in Latin America, he specifically was talking about how the kids grew up totally different than they did in the United States. And when they went to the United States, one of this person's daughter was climbing a rock, and he saw a security guard coming. And the security guard came and says, "You can't climb this rock." And then the father, one of the speakers who was speaking during TDV, had to explain, like, "Hey, sorry, you can't climb rocks here. This is America." And the daughter's like dumbfounded, like, "What? We can't play?" It's utterly ridiculous, the mindset, and again, just the psychological mind control. We have another guest. Do you want to introduce him, Jeff?
Sure, I just want to make a quick comment on what you just said, because it reminds me of a time I was with my daughter, and she was up, she was about 3 years old, and she was up about 6 feet, and she said, "Papa, I'm going to jump." And all I said was, "I wouldn't do that." And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "You might hurt yourself." But you know what a lot of parents would do? They'd yell at them and tell them to get down. It's a totally different way of looking at life. And eventually I said, well, she said, what would you do, Papa? And I went, well, you're tiny, you're really small. Maybe you don't know how small you are yet. But why don't you try from 3 feet instead of 6 feet? Start there. So she did 3 feet. Okay, that was a little scary. 4 feet. Whoa. 5. Okay, I get it, Papa. You're right. I think 6 would have been too much. And I was like, yeah. And that's the way to do it. It's a different way of thinking. Here comes Max Egan. How many rock stars do you want on here? I just want to introduce Rafael Alberti. He's one of the top crypto guys. He's our crypto guy at Dollar Vigilante. If you want to hear some, hardcore crypto stuff, I don't know if you want to, but he'd be the guy to talk to about anything crypto.
Can you give us 2 minutes of crypto?
So
Just give us 2 minutes. What's going on?
Important to the world.
okay, so pretty quick. What we've been talking about is securing the individual versus securing the market, and what that means to everyone. So again, securing the individual versus securing the market. So do you, as a libertarian, would you rather have a coin that secures the individual, your fungibility, your anonymity, your privacy, or would you rather have a coin that secures the market? In other words, would you welcome a coin that invites everyone to compete in its crypto development and in its crypto governance? Now, when I mean everyone, I mean even statists, right? So right now, the two manifestations of those coins, the one that secures the interests of the individual with complete anonymity and fungibility, that's Monero. So yeah, we really champion Monero at the Dollar Vigilante. It's because everything starts with the individual. Now, the other coin that we brought in a guy by the name of Mr. X, and Mr. X, his OPSEC is awesome, and we need someone like that. So he really champions Monero, and he and I butt heads a little bit actually quite a bit between BTC, BSV, and Bitcoin Cash. And so we have 3 sibling chains racing for the market at this moment. We have Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, and Bitcoin BTC. And they're all penetrating the market in different ways. Now, At this moment, out of all of them, the chain that it has been, where its proof of work has not been interrupted. In other words, where there has not been any communal planning that is in opposition to the choice of mining, to the autonomy of miners, is BSV. Now that's a very status coin too, as we all very well know. But again, the game plan is this: we're gonna have two coins. We're gonna have a coin that is an anarchist project that is completely private and anonymous, and one that is completely open to the powers of the free market that allows everyone to compete. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thank you so much, brother. More information will be found on TD. And as we've been saying on this YouTube channel, always be skeptical of everything and always question everything. And I think it's going to be the talk that we're going to have with Max Egan here, who's a researcher and philosopher and all around just an amazing, amazing critical thinker. You've been very critical of also Bitcoin because honestly, yeah, it could be a honey trap. Is that how they call it? A honey trap? A honey trap. It could be a setup. It could be a wider system, and it's important to be skeptical of everything. But for me, it's just a new technology, and with any other technology, it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. But I think it's important for us to be more clairvoyant and to see which aspects of it are bad and which aspects of it are good, because they sell it to us as if it's convenience, and you think, oh yeah, it's going to be convenient to have internal by everything I say and does a little command and so tells me weather and changes my light bulb. This is an excellent idea, but honestly, that authority and power, holy crap, Max, that scares the utter bejesus out of me. You've been talking about it, the internet of all things. I'm skeptical. I know you are, but what are some of the reasons why you're most skeptical of this new kind of technocratic day and age?
Well, what's wrong? I mean, there's with Bitcoin in its sort of, the way it's presented, it's a good thing to free us from the fiat system. It's great. But they're not factoring in the reality that the world's run by criminals who are totally onto what everybody's doing and the umbrella that they're creating over the whole digital realm. Because when everything becomes digital, then your purchasing power can be limited by what you say, what you do, and then you don't even know it's happening. What they're doing with this digital realm is essentially putting a barrier between you and nature and everything, where you need digital access to it, So, and that digital access that you're granted will be determined on what you say and what you do, Luke Rudkowski putting out videos like this, I mean, suddenly once it all goes digital and you don't use cash anymore and it's down to social crediting, you'll just go to buy a plane ticket one day and get told you're not qualified. And then you say, well, who do I call? There's nobody to call. You're just simply not qualified because of what you say and do. So that's what they're doing with it. And in that sort of a situation, it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin you got. So in a real world where we've got normal governance and things are transparent and the world is run open and the government is actually working to improve society and improve the human condition, Bitcoin would be great. Even the governments would be saying, yeah, this is a great idea. We free ourselves from the central bankers, but when it's all one mechanism and it's all one organism, they're allowing the cryptocurrency people to build this infrastructure that they're co-opting with the social crediting system. And they've already brought this in China. There's 7.2 million people on the social credit system. They're bringing it in for Apple devices now, saying it would never happen in the West, only in China. But now your Apple device has a trust score. The device itself has a trust score. Of course, it's not you who's using the device. It's just the device. No reason for you to worry,
A trust score that, by the way, you cannot see. You're not privy to it, but they've been rating your phone calls and your conversations and your interactions with people, which is absolutely terrifying when you look at the magnitude and power of such a corporation that has more money than most GDP of countries in the world. It's absolutely terrifying to see just not only existence, but also their participation with the surveillance government state and how seed money and DARPA and all these other darker institutions, darker kind of agencies have been involved in the rise of them. And we really do have to be hypercritical because it could be crypto, it could be another thing, but also a bigger thing is 5G. There's what, 20,000 satellites coming up to help facilitate.
Target the public with these weapons. And when you think, you're carrying around a phone which tracks you, they can track you by your bioacoustic resonance. They know exactly where Luke Rudkowski is. They can pick you out of a crowd. With 5G, they can target you specifically for active denial. They can give you gut problems. They can give you transparent eyelids, all in their own patents. All this stuff is all there. There's a DARPA patent which got leaked recently, which shows the psychoactive uses for electromagnetic weapons. And this is all 5G powered. So, it's not just about this fast bandwidth that we need. We're getting to a situation where your supermarkets are watching you, all the stuff on the shelves. New Walgreens stores in England and 4 other supermarkets, now your groceries are watching you while you're shopping, and they're socially profiling you. What you're buying, where you're going, what you're saying. So when you get to a situation where your clock radio is listening to you at home, your TV's watching you, your fridge is listening to you, you're lying in bed with your wife and you say something that the algorithm doesn't like, and it deducts your social credit points without you knowing it, and you go out the next day to buy a plane ticket and you can't because of a conversation you had in your bed last night. So it gets to a point where everybody's policing their own thoughts. And then with 5G as well, you look at the health aspects, what it's going to do to us physiologically, and the damage it's going to do to the food. No more organic food because of these 5G millimeter waves are going to be penetrating all the food. People don't think about that. They think about the radiation poisoning they're getting. What about the food you're eating getting this same radiation poisoning? You're living in a building full of Wi-Fi, you think it doesn't affect your food that you've got sitting in your fruit bowl and all this sort of stuff? Of course it does. So the health aspects of this are absolutely outrageous. And if you look at the whole transhumanist thing as well, you can see how this will get to a point where we'll become so unhealthy that we will welcome being transferred into this mainframe because its bodies will last much longer, because human beings are just getting so sick because the environment's so bad, and they won't even think that it's being done by design, and it is. It's really important that people look at this and look at the health aspects of it and go and look at the DARPA patents and active denial systems, military-grade technology, and remember that all of it is powered by 5G, and this is what they're rolling out around the suburbs, folks. And as I said, they can target people individually for active denial, so it's very important that people become aware of this.
But it's so convenient to have the internet of all things available to us at any time and moment, and be able to talk to a robot that tells us everything we need to know. Again, that's the kind of mindset that a lot of people have been having in this larger kind of understanding. But the bigger point that I wanted to make here, DARPA is one big player here. I'm very happy you mentioned the DARPA papers, but also Amazon is too, with Jeff Bezos working on artificial intelligence, facial recognition. And people think that this is far away, and I don't think it's a question of if it's going to happen, but when. If you look at the history of governments and how they've been acting irrespective of human rights, irrespective of the right thing to do, but of course in their interest, which of course is more power, money, and control. That's how governments act. That's how they always acted. And I think it's just a matter of when. Amazon to me is the biggest player here. What's your kind of bigger take on Jeff Bezos and Amazon, and the way that there's a big debate now because Amazon pulled out building their second kind of headquarters in New York, and people are so disappointed that this didn't happen. And it's absolutely crazy the brainwashing that exists with such a mega corporation that looks like it's not going to go away anytime soon, and also has CIA connections.
Yeah, well, there's something really interesting people could do. There was a report that I saw on mainstream media. A report I saw on mainstream media the other day, which check all this stuff out. And newspapers, sort of stuff, we won't be having them, no magazines, it'll all be online. We won't be standalone GPSs, everyone will use their phone. So they're pushing everybody into having cell phones and to going digital. And you can just check that out yourself. Just get a search engine and search 31 things likely to be obsolete by 2020. That's a year away. It's a year away, folks. And Amazon is running all this stuff. Amazon is going to be controlling all the deliveries. Don't need delivery people anymore. We've got Amazon drones to do it. This is what they're saying. And this is mainstream media. Just, well, aren't we progressing forward? Thinking how happy we'll be that all this is happening. But when you read between the lines and look at it, it's no joke what they're pushing out. And Amazon's a huge part of it. People should stop shopping at Amazon, folks. Stop shopping at Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, they get you with the convenience thing. They trap you in there, just like the old kind of robber barons did with like Rockefeller setting up his oil and gas companies next to competing oil and gas companies. And because he had so much money, he just lowered the price. Then when the competition was out of business, there wasn't any fair play here. Bam, he would come in, hike the prices up to a new level, and then gain more kind of control. My question here is, obviously there's a collusion between the state and the private industry. Which one do you think will prevail and be the controlling power and have the controlling narrative in the future? Will it be the government sector or the private sector that will be the top dog in the future?
That would depend on us, brother. It depends on how much people wake up. I mean, ultimately, if you're looking at it from a business perspective, both sectors lead to the same place. Both of them are irrelevant, both of them are corrupt. What we need is for people to reconnect with themselves and become human again. You know, because all of this technology is leading us away from being human, is what it's really doing. And like I said, there's nothing really wrong with technology, but the world's run by criminals, and they're leading us into a certain place, and it's not a good place that they're leading us to. You know.
Yep. Well, Max Egan, thank you so much. Where can people find out more information about you?
You can find out all about me at thecrowhouse.com, and you'll find links to everything I do there. Nothing to buy, it's all free, no subscriber section. Thousands of pages of information there, just a portal to share information, thecrowhouse.com. Thanks for having me on, Luke.
No problem. Thank you. I enjoy your YouTube channel. I enjoy your philosophies and deeper thinking and thinking about things that normally people wouldn't think about. So thank you for the great mind that you have and sharing it with us and sharing the knowledge and information. It's always a pleasure and honor to have you on, brother. Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, we're back here. Hope everything's working here correctly with the audio and video here during this live broadcast. We got more people up here from all over the place. Just want to make sure. Danny, how are we doing back there? Are we live? Are we working? Is it stuck? Is it skipped? Can let me know in the comment section what's going on. People are saying video's frozen. Oh, Lordy, I don't know what happened here. Did they hear the audio? I have no idea.